get this Wayfair thing.
Yeah.
You know, for those who don't know, the conspiracy is that Wayfair, they're a furniture sales company, right?
Yes.
They're covertly selling children in these large cabinets on their website that are listed for like $10,000 a cabinet. And
Sometimes
supposedly,
more.
if you enter in the serial numbers of the item into some Russian search engine, I believe,
Yeah.
it comes up with the name of a child.
Pictures
Of
a
children.
child. Yeah.
Yeah. And so people like Jenna Jameson and all the other intelligentsia are out there claiming that Wayfair is involved in some human child sex pedophilia trafficking organization.
Yeah. Right.
And you people who believe this shit have got to wake up. The Russians are laughing at us. They know that they can run any ridiculous conspiracy theory through the American internet, and a segment of the population, largely Trump supporters, will pick up on it and believe it with no other evidence needed. Like, they don't want to look at any counter evidence. All they want is the pro evidence.
What's the counter evidence to their
The
claims?
Wayfair is saying this is ridiculous. Those are industrial size cabinets.
Yeah, but it's
that are
like
priced appropriately.
the same product for different prices with different like names or SKU
what?
numbers or whatever.
Listen, it's the weirdest thing. The conspiracy theorists doth protest too much.
But
They're
why is
all
it-
obsessed with pedophilia. They think everyone's a pedophile.
Because it's happening.
No, it is happening, but they think there's a
Wait, so you
pedophile behind
acknowledge
every
it?
cabinet door.
So you acknowledge it, but then you say, "Oh, this company's too big. They're a brand. They would never do that. They would never involve themselves in it." But it's happening on a level that we would never be exposed to. Is that what you're saying? Like, you're acknowledging it, but then you're saying that this is far fetched.
It's happening like on the dark web. It's happening in lesser countries. It's not, and it's happening in America too.
Yeah.
But they're not. Wayfair is not selling children through cabinets online.
You don't think so? I think it's completely. There's no way that could happen.
Yeah,
it's not a coincidence.
It's just
at all.
crazy. Listen.
Oh, you're saying it's one big coincidence.
You want to know how? Okay, if you had some no-name furniture company, because here's why I would believe it more. Jeffrey Epstein had these fake front companies. He had some kind of flight school, I think it was, that had a website, and it had videos made by hot-looking stewardesses who would tell you about all the things that you could do at this flight school. And it was obviously a total front. It wasn't well known. It was just there to, do whatever laundromat. I don't know what he was doing with it, but Wayfair is a legitimate company.
Okay. What does that mean?
They're not going to be selling children. It's too out in the open.
Well, for most people, like, think about how long this may have been. Like, let's just say hypothetically the listing was up for a couple months, and it took some guy who was bored to just kind of connect the dots, and now it's like, oh shit, we got to stop doing this.
No.
You think the guy that found it or whoever
Listen,
put this story out there, it happened all in one day? Like, oh, they put this listing up for these cabinets, and by the way, the cost for an industrial cabinet is far less than what the prices on Wayfair.
we are human beings.
was saying.
We seek patterns in everything so we can make sense of this
course.
crazy world.
Yeah.
So you can make anything seem like a conspiracy theory. You put the numbers into some search engine. But the point is, this is Russian propaganda being used on us. They've been using it on us for the past 5 years.
Okay.
And we keep falling for it. They're laughing their asses off. Those Russian hackers sitting in some shitty apartment in Eastern Europe somewhere, they're laughing. They're saying, the Wayfair conspiracy is they're going for the Wayfair. No.
You're saying that the Russians hacked Wayfair's website, changed
Mo,
the listing.
Order a cabinet off Wayfair right now. Let's see if a child shows up.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying is the actual
I'm saying
thing.
it's ridiculous. There's real conspiracies like Donald Trump commuting the sentence of Roger Stone. Okay, this is the problem, is the conspiracy theorists, they're more obsessed with knowing secrets so they can feel special than they are about actually finding the truth. And Trump's genius is that he does this shit out in the open. He literally, Roger Stone communicated with WikiLeaks on behalf of the Trump campaign to get information on Hillary Clinton. He was investigated by Robert Mueller. He lied to protect the president. And then he was sentenced through jail. And he already got a way reduced sentence due to Bill Barr's meddling. And then Trump, and then he says, by the way, the day of the commutation, he says, I could have flipped on Trump. They wanted me to flip. It would have made my life a lot easier. He's basically saying, I had info on you. I didn't give you up. And he doesn't do it. And so Trump commutes his sentence. So basically, you can do a crime for the president, lie about it to investigators, and even if you get caught, he'll free you. Now that's a conspiracy. But because it's out in the open, it's not hidden away in some WAYfair cabinet, they don't want to acknowledge it. That's what I'm saying, Mo. See over the horizon. The Russians and the Trumps, they're playing us. They got us worried about WAYfair. The conspiracy is Roger Stone. The WAYfair thing come out the same day as the Roger Stone ruling.
Well, smoke and mirrors.
Wake up, man.
Classic smoke and mirrors.
Dude. That's what drives me crazy. I am a real conspiracy theorist. I see what's actually going on out there.
What's the difference?
Because I'm not going for fake stuff. There's stuff that's obviously fake.
Like what?
WAYfair.
WAYfair's fake.
That's fake.
There's no way.
There's no way.
You're dismissing it.
Dismissed.
100%.
You are dismissed.
Okay. So the fact that they were making beds for detention centers, that's another coincidence.
Making what?
Beds.
For who?
Children in ICE detention centers.
Okay, that's a different type of conspiracy theory.
It's just another dot to connect. I'm not saying that it's true. No one knows.
I don't know anything
except
about
the people
that,
involved. But that is 2019. They had a lot of their workforce walk out because they found out that they were producing beds for these ICE detention centers that were housing immigrant children.
Listen,
the story goes on to say that a lot of children from said detention centers have gone missing. Now you have this situation where they're selling overpriced furniture. You search the SKU or whatever on this site, and it's showing up as pictures of children. So, I mean, yeah, I could see how someone could try to connect the dots. Oh, yeah, they were making beds for these ICE detention centers, the same centers that kids are going missing in, and now they have this oddly overpriced industrial cabinet. 4 of the same cabinets cost 4 different prices. They're all different names, and you search them, and they come back as children.
Okay, I'll concede that I can see how someone who's just sitting around with a lot of time on their hands could put that together.
So to completely dismiss it and say it's far-fetched is totally unfair.
Is it proven that they were making these beds for ICE detention centers?
Yeah, they admittedly said that.
That's a whole
everyone knew that
thing in itself. But what do you think? They're making beds, and then they bring the bed in, they put the child in the bed, and then carry the bed out to a truck?
I don't know. I've never stolen a child. You seem to have a lot of experience on how to steal kids. Why don't you fill us in, Dante?
I've proven that doesn't work.
How do you steal a child?
No, I don't know. But I just feel like, first of all, I'd like to see all the facts, all the numbers on how many kids have gone missing. I know there's been a lot of bad stuff happening to the kids in there, but I'm not sure how many have gone missing. I feel like that would be a much bigger scandal. I feel like Rachel Maddow would be all over that if there were a lot of kids missing from ICE detention centers.
I mean, a lot or a little doesn't matter. Kids are missing.
Okay, but
the number is irrelevant.
No, it actually is relevant in this. If
Why?
we're going to accuse WAYfair of running a high risk, huge operation to traffic children out of ICE detention centers, they're not going to do it for 10 kids.
It's not the sole source of these kids. Kids are getting picked off the streets in small towns and they're just going missing.
No, that's true.
Missing children. These are all the SKU numbers and the names of the product is what they're saying is related to a child that's missing, whether it's from a detention center or just missing in their neighborhood. It's a missing child.
By the way, well,
Pizzagate.
Let's see. That's more. Just honestly, it's so crazy because it's accusing the other side of what you're doing. It's the Republicans who are actually running the child pedophilia rings. You ever heard of the White House call boy scandal during the Bush years?
Yeah.
Or the Franklin cover-up? Those are the real things.
Pedophilia.
But they say, oh, it's the Democrats. Hillary Clinton's underneath a pizza shop cutting up children. Ugh. It makes me sick how gullible the American public is, how they're not smart enough like I am to see the actual conspiracy. God. Well, speaking of conspiracies.
If it's true, then is it a conspiracy?
We'll see. We'll monitor this WAYfair thing. Maybe Ghislaine Maxwell will.
She's going to end up dead soon. We're not going to ever hear anything from her. She's about to get Epsteined.
I think, I don't know.
She's about to get murked.
She might have a good chance of making it out of this one.
Nah, she's about to be dead, bro.
She's booked for the podcast next week.
Well, I will not be here.